Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of American Soccer Quick Kicks. I'm your host, David Wright. I see I've already got two people in the room. I guess you're waiting for me to get started. Thank you for joining me. I hope others will join here in just a second. I don't have a strong specific topic for tonight, thus the absence of any information on the thumbnail. I think it's going to be a real short one. I just want to touch a couple of points, a couple of reminders, and then we'll get out of here tonight. Unless y'all have got questions and you want to start having a conversation, I'm always open to that. First of all, I just want to say next week, 1 week from right now, we're going to start a live AMA right here on this channel. I hope that people will join us in live. If you've got people in your life that are kind of soccer fans, they're soccer fans, but not MLS fans or not American soccer fans. People that want to know more about the sport. Anybody I'm trying to reach with this, anybody like that, let them know about it. And see if they join us. I have also asked for questions in advance, and I see that my mic is working this week, so that's good. Thanks, Larry. I've been asking for questions in advance, and I have gotten some. I already know it's going to be a good show. I've got plenty of questions already to work with, so I'm excited for next week. I'm also a little interested to see what gets thrown at me live, like with no prep. So some of these I've had a chance to think about it a little bit, but if y'all are out to sharpshoot me and trip me up on purpose, then I'm probably in for a terrible night. But if you got any real questions about the game itself, the rules of the game, or just my take on something, my opinion, how I feel about what's going on, anything to do with Major League Soccer or United States men's national team, I'll tell you right now, this channel is American Soccer Quick Kicks. You start asking me about Premier League or Bundesliga or whatever, I'm not gonna be much use. And I also nothing against the women's team. I don't follow them, so I'm not going to have a lot of I don't have any opinions in that area either. This channel is about Major League Soccer and U.S. men's national team, and just about the sport itself, and promoting the knowledge of the sport and the rules of the sport and the passion for the sport. And of course, I have goodwill for all aspects of the sport. That includes the women's side of it also. I want to see everybody succeed. Anyway, that's going to be next week, live AMA. If you don't think you can make it, go ahead and send me questions. You can leave comments in this video whenever you happen to see this video, or you can go to the American Soccer Quick Kicks Facebook page. You can leave questions there. You can DM me from there. I just want to touch on a couple things. September 6th is the next U.S. men's match. We have windows coming up in September, October, and November. This is especially October, November. These are going to be heavy World Cup qualifying windows. So even though we're not playing in any qualifying matches, that's why we're having so many windows here. They're going to be open for a couple of weeks at a time. Then we're going to get 3 in a row: September, October, November. So by the time we do the AMA next week, we're going to be knocking on the door of the next U.S. camp, and we'll have plenty to talk about. Because as soon as they start announcing the roster and sending out invitations to players, then the soap opera begins all over again. Speaking of the soap opera, I don't know if you've been following Christian Pulisic, but has continued to kind of play out publicly. The backlash of him not showing up for Gold Cup and just deciding to take the summer off, just kick back and relax, while his teammates are out there laying it all on the line trying to beat Mexico and falling short while he's back there, riding ponies with his family in Pennsylvania. We've had a number of former U.S. men's national team players who are now either in the television analysis game or in the podcast game. Tim Howard, Landon Donovan, Alexi Lawless, Tony Meola. They've all come out speaking against him and criticizing him for not playing in Gold Cup. And to make matters worse, Christian's father has entered the conversation, and he's come out blasting against all these guys, which, Pulisic's a grown man. You don't need your daddy fighting your battles for you. This reminiscent of the Reynas during the last World Cup. It's just like, come on. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. I don't know. Anyway, that drama continues to play out. One thing Pulisic has said, though, in his response to all this is that it's got him fired up, ready to come out playing hard when he comes back to the team. And that's what I want to hear. I want to hear it. I don't want to have any question to doubt the heart and the effort of our top players the next time they're in camp. I want them to come out on fire. They say they needed the time to rest. Well, you got your rest. Now let me see what you bring. Are you still going to come in soft or are you not? So I'm excited to see what happens there. 2 players from the U.S. men's player pool that I have been saying need to get club moves so they can improve their playing time if they want to have a shot at making the World Cup roster. Those two players are Gio Reyna, who has not gotten a club move. He is still at Borussia Dortmund, does not look to feature in their plans very much. He was sitting on the bench here in America during the Club World Cup and hardly played at all. I think a total of like 12 minutes. And I haven't seen any news about any transfer for him. I personally think a move to MLS would be the best thing for him. Again, and this is something I know Pochettino believes, better to be in MLS getting regular minutes than sitting on the bench in Europe. Speaking of that, Matt Turner, our World Cup goalkeeper from 2022, is now back in Major League Soccer. He has returned to the New England Revolution. He's immediately stepped in the starting position, and he's already looked good in a couple of matches for New England. Very happy for Matt Turner. He was languishing in England and completely out of form. He was losing the number one spot for the U.S. men, and now we don't have like a strong, clear number one guy for the U.S. team. And I want it to be Turner. He's got a he's got a wonderful story. Maybe I'll do a bio episode one day and dig in his story a little bit. But I'm just rooting for the guy. We now have all of the U.S. goalkeeper contenders playing in Major League Soccer. Nobody's overseas. That's going to be Turner. It's going to be Zach Steffen, Matt Fries, Patrick Schulte, Chris Brady. Probably missing one more. They're all in Major League Soccer. That is something I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Is even though Revolution they're not a great team this year, they're not contending. I'm going to be watching how Matt Turner does, and so I'm rooting for him. And I hope that he is our goalkeeper next summer. But if that's going to happen, number one, he has to play, and number two, he's got to regain his form from a couple of years ago. And I believe that he can do it. Let me see. That's really all I got. I don't have a clear topic tonight. I want to mention the Pulisic thing and the Turner thing. We're knocking on the door of the next U.S. men's camp, and we're going to have plenty to talk about then. Leagues Cup continues. It is all four of the quarterfinal matches are tomorrow night. They start at 7:00. It's all on the Apple TV MLS Season Pass package. Miami and Tigres is the one I'm looking forward to the most. My LA Galaxy, I say my LA Galaxy. I told you in a previous video, I was really rooting for them in this tournament just because, well, I like them. They're a 96 original, right? Or a founding club. And they won the MLS Cup. They won it all last year. And this year, because of injuries and some moves and everything, they just got off to an abysmal start. They're in dead last still with only 16 points for 2/3 of the way through the season. They were winless in their first 16, 17 matches. I mean, they are eliminated from the playoffs for all intents and purposes. And they only recently have come into good form, and they've come into good form in time for Leagues Cup. And so now they've reached the quarterfinals. And so I'm hoping that, like, this is all they have to play for. The regular season, they're just playing out the string. This should be their entire focus. This is their playoffs. This is their Super Bowl. And so, and really, if you remember the format that I went over, the top three finishers are going to go to Leagues Cup. That means both semifinal winners, right? The finalists are going to go, but there's going to be a semifinalist loser that goes to Leagues Cup. So these teams that are in the quarterfinals, one of them only has to win one more match. Now we don't know how that's going to fall. We don't know who it's going to be, but the Galaxy are really close to making it into CONCACAF next year. So I don't know if I was misspeaking there. I was trying to say that the top three finishers in Leagues Cup go to CONCACAF, and that's what the Galaxy are playing for. They want that Leagues Cup championship, but even if they don't get that, if they can get one of those top three spots and make it into CONCACAF, then they will have salvaged something from this season, and I'm just rooting for them. So I'm going to be watching Miami play Tigres tomorrow night, and also the Galaxy will be going up against Pachuca, which will be tough for them. I'm going to pause and look at the chat here. No substitute for playing time. Amen, brother. That is a debate that's been had in recent years. Is it better to make the move to England or Europe and not play than to be in Major League Soccer and play regularly? Well, it depends how you want to look at it. There is a benefit in the high level of training that you get and media pressure that you get that comes with playing in one of those bigger leagues. There's value to that. And here's the other thing. you're going to make a lot more money. Like just being over there, the league minimum, I mean, it's ridiculous compared to the pay structure in Major League Soccer. Athletes have short careers. You got to make your money while you can. You can't blame a guy who's trying to provide for his family for the rest of his life. If he has a chance to make some money over there, hard to blame him. But it can hurt your international career. It can hurt your opportunities to represent your country. And that's the balance that has to be made. And sometimes that's not easy. We want to say, hey, you're making a mistake. You should be playing or else you're not going to the World Cup. But what if it's a difference of a few $1 million? I mean, that changes the equation. So it's hard to blame the guys. It's just that I'm a fan of theirs. If I'm a fan of theirs, then I want to see them play. And I want to see them play at the highest level, which in my opinion is representing their country in the World Cup. But it's not always cut and dry for them. Another comment from Alabama Barbecue Chase. Who would you like to see as starters for the U.S. MNT when the World Cup kicks off? That, sir, is an excellent question. It's actually the way I've chosen to interpret another question that I've already gotten for the AMA. So what I'm going to tell you is I do have a definite answer to that. I've already had time to think about it, but I'm going to make you wait. So tune in to the AMA. We're going to go over World Cup stuff. You know, whatever comes up in the conversation, we'll talk about it. But one of the questions I got is, who are my 11? Who are my starters? So we're going to definitely be talking about that. All right, we got Lee's Cut tomorrow night. We have the camp coming up in September, and the AMA is next week. That's all I got. That's really all I got. If you got anything for me, I'll tell you this. I have watched the debuts of Son Heung-min for LA, and I've watched Thomas Mueller for Vancouver. Both are hitting the ground running, both looking great. Son, excuse me, his last name is Son. That's how they say it. I saw him get a beautiful assist, dribbling into the box, drawing the goalkeeper out to him, and then laying it off for a late runner. It was a beautiful thing. And you can just tell every time he gets the ball that he's going to be raising the quality of this team and probably this entire league. He's one of these guys who sees the game faster than other people, even on his own team. He's seeing passes that even members of his own team are not seeing. So what's happening is he's playing the ball into space, anticipating a runner to get onto it, and that runner's not there. That teammate is watching that ball go in empty space going, oh, that was supposed to be my run. Like, oh, yeah, oh, my bad. So they are not seeing the game at the same speed that Son is seeing it. But I expect that to change. As long as Son can stay patient and not get mad at his, MLS teammates, but instead bring them up, I think it can make a tremendous impact on the team. I'm excited to what he can do to raise the level, not only for LA, but for the team. But for the league. And Mueller came in for Vancouver, and I love his attitude. He's eager to play, and he immediately showed his quality. He had one incredible rocket shot from just outside the box that burnt a hole in the back of the net. It did not count because on replay, they found an offside infraction that happened early in the buildup with other players. Like the ball got moved around 10 different times before the shot was ever taken. So it had nothing to do immediately with the scoring, but it had happened early in the buildup, and so they disallowed the goal. It was a shame because it was a fantastic rocket of a shot. I'm excited about what both Son Heung-min and Thomas Mueller can bring to this league, so I'm excited for that. Jason, in the room, what are your thoughts on Auburn football announcing several more college football national championships? Okay, so Jason, you might occasionally hear me say the word football on this channel, but I know you're in Oklahoma, but you need to understand that when I say football on this YouTube channel, I'm not talking about Auburn national championships. This is American soccer, quick kicks. And to answer your question anyway, I think it's kind of funny because Auburn fans I know, which includes members of my family, have always been like, well, we don't claim all those national championships. Alabama says they have, 30 of them, whatever, but they count all these little things and we don't do that. We have a higher standard for the ones we count. And now suddenly they're like, okay, well, we're going to do that too now. So it's going to be interesting to see if the fans that have taught that kind of game are going to continue to talk that way or if they'll change their tune. But we come in here and put chocolate in our peanut butter, Jason. You think you're funny. But, hey, come in next week. I am glad you're here. Next week, exactly 1 week from right now, we're going to be doing an AMA, and I'm only taking questions that have to do with soccer. Sorry, bud. I have to go to a different channel for anything else. All right, anybody else got anything? That's going to be it. Please don't forget, send in your questions, leave them in the comments, DM me, text me if you know me, or just be here in the room next week. I am excited. We have plenty already. I've already got plenty here that have come in. So we're going to have a good conversation next week. And the next thing you know, it's going to be time for the U.S. soccer, the national team all over again. So don't forget, Lee's Cup quarterfinals tomorrow night. Watch some soccer with me. I'll talk to you next time.